prayer practitioner here, and I'm really happy that you are joining me. In honor of Women's History Month, I brought one of my sheroes, a recent, as far as history goes, Louise Hay. Many years ago, when my mother was doing the cancer dance, I listened to guided meditations by Louise. They were on cassette tape, so that tells you it was a while ago. So Louise has been guiding us and loving us for a long time. She passed in 2017, and even though she had many trials in her life and was abused as a young woman and had cancer, she chose love. So I bring to you this day her meditation, one of her meditations on love. And I think we'll all agree that we need more love in the world right now. And it starts within. That used to be hard for me to understand, that if I love myself more, I could love others more. But it's the truth. And it's not an arrogant love, it's a humble and grateful love. So I offer that to you. One of the things in her meditation, her guided meditation so many years ago, was to put things I didn't want or didn't like in a hot air balloon and let it float off forever. So I offer you that this morning. If anything I read to you or say to you you're not quite sure of, or that little monkey mind tells you something different, what I'm saying is the truth of you. So put the monkey mind in the hot air balloon and let it go. So with your feet flat on the floor, let's take a deep centering breath. When your feet are flat on the floor, it gives your nervous system the message that everything is okay. And your breath does as well. So another deep cleansing breath. And recognizing that there is only one presence, one power, one life purpose. That Almighty Creator, active in and through and as all people and all events. I know it is the truth of each one of us here. And so I claim a relaxation, a deepening of the truth, a deepening of the knowing this truth that each and every one of us is unique and magnificent. So I offer you that. And with a grateful heart, I let it be so as we begin. Deep, deep in the center of my being is an infinite well of love. I now allow that love to flow to the surface. It fills my heart, my body, my mind, my very being, my very consciousness, and radiates out from me in all directions and returns to be multiplied. The more love I use and give, the more I have to give. I love myself. Therefore, I take excellent care of my body. I lovingly feed it nourishing foods and beverages. I lovingly give it plenty of rest and plenty of exercise. I lovingly groom it and dress it in beautiful clothes. And my body responds to me with vibrant health and energy. I love myself. Therefore, I provide for myself a comfortable home, one that meets all my needs and is a pleasure to be in. I fill the rooms with the vibration of love, and all who enter, myself and my pets included, feel this love and are nurtured by it. I love myself. Therefore, I work at a job I truly enjoy doing, one that uses my natural talents and abilities, working with people I love and whom love me, and earning a very good income. I love myself. Therefore, I behave and think in a loving way toward all people, for I know that that which I give out returns to me multiplied. I only attract loving people in my world, for they are a reflection of what I am. I love myself. Therefore, I forgive and totally release the past and all past experiences, and I am free. I love myself. Therefore, I love totally in the now, experiencing each moment as good, and knowing that my future is bright and joyous and secure. For I am a beloved child of the universe, and the universe lovingly takes care of me now and forevermore. And so just rest now in the silence and let those affirmations sink deep, deep in your being. So remembering, I love myself, and you fill in the blank. What is true for you? I exercise more. I eat more healthy. Whatever is for you, I love myself, therefore. And again, remembering, I love myself, therefore. So what is for your highest good? Therefore, I commit to a daily spiritual practice. Therefore, I commit to smiling more often. What is it for you? Let it be yours. I love myself, therefore. And one more time. I love myself. Therefore, so again, remembering that there is only one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence. This one is present everywhere, all the time. So I claim for each of us that we remember. We remember the uniqueness of our own being. For we are that one, unique and magnificent, just as we are and just as we're becoming. So I claim love. I claim peace. I claim mutual respect. It's respect for self and respect for others. And I claim that each and every one of us is a greater channel of love for the greatest good of all and for the harm of none. With gratitude, I simply let it be so. And so it is. So I do want to thank you for being here with us at our pre-service meditation. And in just a few minutes, our Sunday celebration will begin. And in the meantime, our band will entertain you with some lively music, for they are so talented and we are so richly blessed to have them. Enjoy.
Oh, good morning, everyone. Or as Reverend Mike says, God morning. And by the way, I'd like to say thank you to Reverend Mike. He's my compatriot in ministry here, and he's taking this Sunday off, but I think he's going to be on the screen because today is our annual meeting. So we're all kind of gathering and getting ready for our service today, and then after this service at 12:15, we'll be doing our annual meeting. My name is Reverend Scott Olson. I'm the senior minister here at Ahiah Center for Spiritual Living, and it's so wonderful to be here with you. I love having the people who are here because it's so nice having a few people when I'm doing a talk. It really just makes my heart sing, as Kelly says so much. And so I'd like to go ahead and say a thank you to a few of the people who are here today. We've got our band here, and we're going to be just saying hi to them now, but Chris is going to introduce them all in a few minutes. But I do also want to say thank you to, we have Kelly Metcalf, who did such a beautiful job of the meditation before service. She is one of our practitioner emeritus, which we are blessed in this community, not only with the number of practitioners that we have, but we have 4 practitioner emeritus. That means they've been practitioners for at least 20 years. And some of them won't say how long after 20 years they've been there. But we're so blessed to have them and their experience and the spiritual awareness and awakening that they bring with them. And then, and she'll be doing our invocation and reading also. And I want to say thank you to Harris. He's in the back there. He's hitting all the keys so that we see everything on our video. And I want to say thank you to Gloria. She's back here on the soundboard. She makes sure that the sound sounds so sweet. So it's all good. So I just want to go ahead and get us going. We got a full busy day with the annual meeting coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and just move us right along and move us into our meditation video. And so I'm just inviting you to take a deep breath in with me. And just let it go as we sink in to the meditation.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know I was born by the river in a little tent. Like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh yes it is. Then I go to my brother. And I say, brother, help me please. But he wind up knocking is gonna come one day. I know a change gonna come. Yes, it is.
Oh, that's wonderful. And so now I'd like to ask Kelly Metcalf to come on up. She's going to do our reading and our invocation.
Good morning, Ahiah family. It is so nice to be here in the sanctuary. And one day we will get to be here again. And thank you, Gabriel, for those beautiful meditations. I sometimes can't speak after, so I'll do my best here. So in honor of Women's History Month, I brought you a reading from one of my sheroes, Louise Hay. And I did it in the meditation, and it bears repeating. In fact, if you have it, the You Can Heal Your Life book, or You Can Heal Your Body, it's in the back. And I mostly have it memorized, but because I'm here with you, I'm going to read it, maybe, because I didn't bring my glasses. Anyway, they're back there in the seat. So just listen along. You know, Louise taught us to love. And Louise had many hardships in her life, and she still chose to love. And so I offer you this. Deep at the center of my being is an infinite well of love. I now allow that love to flow to the surface. It fills my heart, my body, my mind, my consciousness, my very being, and radiates out from me in all directions and returns to me multiplied. I love myself. Therefore, I take excellent care of myself. I lovingly feed myself nourishing foods and beverages. I lovingly give myself plenty of rest and plenty of exercise. I lovingly groom myself and dress myself in beautiful clothes. I love myself. Therefore, I provide for myself a comfortable home, one that meets all my needs and is a pleasure to be in. I fill the rooms with the vibration of love, and all who enter, myself and my pets included, feel this love and are nurtured by it. I love myself. Therefore, I work at a job I truly enjoy doing, one that uses my natural talents and abilities, working with and for people I love and whom love me, and earning a very good income so I can share it generously with others. I love myself. Therefore, I release the past completely, and I am free. I forgive it, and I release it, and I let it be. I love myself. Therefore, I treat all people with kindness and respect. For I know that what I give out returns to me multiplied. So I only attract loving people in my world because they are a reflection of what I am. I love myself. So I stay in present moment awareness. For I know that my future is joyous and bright and secure. For I am a beloved child of the universe, and the universe lovingly takes care of me now and forevermore. And so it is. So I think we'd all agree that the world needs a little bit more love right now. And it begins within. So I invite you to just take that in, let it be the truth of you. And when you feel you might not be your most loving self, remember to say to yourself, I love myself, therefore. So I know I love Ahiah, and I'm grateful to be here. So let us go into prayer. There is one, only one, all-powerful, all-knowing presence. It is the source and resource of all of life. It is infinite intelligence. It is vivid imagination. It is remarkable creativity, constantly and dependably rejuvenating itself and revitalizing itself. And since it is everywhere present, it must be right here within me, as me, through me. And as it's true for me, it's true for each and every one of us. whether we know it or not. It's still the truth. And so I bless this service. I bless this gathering. Those of us that hear and those of you all around the world that are joining us via the wonders of technology. Again, spirit and expression. So I know that the divine mind is forever expanding, and it is expanding as each and every one of us. So I claim for us greater love, greater peace, greater wisdom, greater willingness to recognize our own worth, our own talents, and to share those generously with the world. For I know that what we give out comes back to us. So I claim that we give the good, we give the love, we give our very best. And that is for our highest good and for the highest good of all that are here, and the harm of none. So I bless this service. I bless Reverend Scott as he gives his talk. I guess the musicians as they perform so wonderfully for us. I bless Gloria and Harris and all the people behind the scenes who make this possible, for it is such a rich blessing. I bless our annual meeting as we join together after. I declare that we each are guided for our greatest good and for our highest greatest good and for all of our safety and well-being, so that all is good, all is well. Spirit knows what it's doing as us. So with a grateful heart, I release my word to the law that acts on it and makes it so. And so it is. Amen and amen. Blessed be.
Thank you. And so now I'd like to ask our guest singer to come on up. And Chris is going to introduce him and the band.
Good morning, Ahiah. As always, it is my pleasure to be here with you today to celebrate life, as Kelly so wonderfully did and led the meditation, and Reverend Scott is here today thanks to Spirit, and we have everything to make our service today the best. And I'd like to introduce, first of all, our guest soloist today, Dylan Bourne. And I've said this about other people, and I'll say it about Dylan. We were flying in the universe one day, and we met each other up there. And maybe we were angels back then. But, we're here today. And that's how I met Dylan. And then on drums, we have Satoshi Kirasawa. And as he says, he's from this planet, but, the other side. So again, this is another angel that was just floating around. And Leon Johnson on the bass, he's right here in Pasadena area, and he's an angel that is here always. And I'm just blessed to have these amazing musicians and Dylan Bourne to sing. And I just want to thank everybody, and I'll stop talking and use my hands instead. Thank you.
If you had not have fallen, then I would not have found you. Angel flying too close to the ground, and I patched up your broken wing and hung around for a while. trying to keep your spirits up and your fever down. I knew someday that you would fly away, for love's the greatest healer to be found. So leave me if you need to, I'll still remember. Angel flying too close to the ground. So fly on, past the speed of sound. I'd rather see you up than see you down. So leave me if you need to, I'll still remember. Angel flying too close to the ground. So leave me if you need to, I'll still remember. Angel flying too close to the ground.
Oh, that was sweet, Dylan. Thank you. Angels flying too close to the ground. I feel that way sometimes with some people. And so we've got a March theme that we've been working on all month long called Open to Possibilities. And that idea of being open to possibilities, it sounds great, doesn't it? Especially when we come from that place of, I'm open to the possibility of having all that I desire, all that my heart wishes for, all that I have dreamed of. I have the possibility of living the life of my dreams. And absolutely yes, yes, yes. When I think of that, that is all true. That is all possible. In this philosophy that we teach here at Centers for Spiritual Living, we say absolutely yes, you can be all of that, and you can be a bag of chips too. You know, we get that possibility, everything. And we get to do that because Ernest Holmes says there is a power greater than I in the universe, and I get to use it. There's a power greater than I, and I get to use it. And so when I do that, I get to create what I'm willing to accept in my life, what I'm willing to receive in my life out of that long list of dreams. We get to do that. But the question is who is plotting our good when we come from that place? And I think the answer is that I am. I'm plotting my good. And that's not a bad place to come from. I get to plot my good. I'm a pretty good plotter. But when I settle into that knowing of who is plotting my good, When I'm really coming from a centered place, the answer is I want God to plot my good. I want that infinite intelligence, that infinite wisdom, that knowingness, everything that is back behind this universe. I want it out there plotting my good. And to do that, I have to take a different stand on this. I get to go with Ernest Holmes' next quote, which is, "There is a power greater than I in the universe, and it can use me." It can use me. And to do that, I have to catch on to the vision of what Spirit is already knowing as the truth of me. I have to open myself to the possibility of something beyond what I've already thought of between my eardrums, in the ego mind. And I have to let go and allow myself to live from that place of being open to the possibilities, being open to the vision. And so I'm going to ask Audra to just tell us a little bit about what she knows about being open to the possibilities.
Happy Sunday, Ahiah family. I'm so excited to be joining you all this beautiful Sunday morning. Here we are, wrapping up March. What an intense month it has been. March was Women's Month. March was Mixed Heritage Month. This March, marked a whole year of COVID lockdowns. Last week we had 7 shootings in 7 days in this country. If that's not enough to commit to transformation, I don't really know what is. Committing to transformation is no small feat. It's no small task. It's no easy accomplishment. How do we do it? How do we tackle the big things? How do we change? We can't change what's out there until we can change what's in here and moving outward. Ourselves, to our loved ones, to our communities, to our cities, to our states, to our countries, to our planet. We gotta take the steps to do the work, to clean up our side of the street, to commit, to transform. There's so many ways we could talk about committing to transformation. There's so many things to transform. In this small time this morning, I don't have all of the time to get into all of the things about all of the ways, but I can share my own commitments to transformation. This theme in this weekend fell at a beautiful time. You know, that whole divine timing thing? Yeah, it's real. For those of you who don't know, I've had I would call it a distant relationship with a lot of my family. And it took me a long time to realize where that distance came from and what caused it, and let alone how to transform it. But after following Spirit, the end of last year, I shared with you all the adventures I went on, the time that I got to connect with my family in ways that I hadn't before, allowed me to see some of the gaps It allowed me to get clarity to identify some things that I wanted to commit to transform. One of those things was my relationship with my cousins, my siblings, my nuclear family. I wasn't quite sure how to do it, but I knew when I committed to it that one of the things that wasn't working was I was never there. You see, I was only 17 when I left home, and I was the oldest cousin, and my next youngest sibling was 5 years from me. All the other cousins were younger than that, so they all grew up together. I was away at college, the first person in my family to go to college, navigating all of the how-tos and college life all by myself, away from home. It caused distance. So, this weekend, when my family has decided to get together in a very small group to celebrate one of my brothers, the one brother that hardly ever gets to get celebrated, the brother whose 30th birthday got canceled because of COVID, when all my cousins were getting together, the old me, the old way, I just watched. Oh, you guys are gonna have a great time. I'll hear all about it. But a little over a week ago, barely a week ago, I woke up one morning, just, you know, one of those days where you just wake up all the way. And Spirit said, you can go. You realize that, right? And I was so shocked at the realization that there was going to be this family thing and I could be there. So many times I couldn't go because of money or work or so many things, so many reasons to not go, so many reasons to keep the distance. But I committed to transforming, and the opportunities availed. And I'm excited to say that this weekend, I will be on top of a mountain with my cousins, celebrating my brother and transforming my relationship with some very important family members. I encourage you this week to look at the places that you want to transform and ask yourself what you're doing differently to cause a different experience, because you have the power. I love you all. Have a beautiful week. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Audra. So, yeah, we all get to commit to transformation in many different ways. And family is, oftentimes a little bit up at the top of the list. So, as she mentioned, our theme for today, the title for today is Commit to Transformation. And I thought, well, what exactly is the definition of commitment? So I went and took a look, and it says the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or activity. And I thought, well, we use that word all the time. It's not an unknown word. And in fact, on the dictionary, on the online dictionary, you can kind of drill down into it, and they'll give you this section in the dictionary now will tell you how often it's been used, over a year, back for a couple hundred years. And it ends up that commitment was, flying down until the 1930s and the 40s. It started to swing up. And those were the years of the Depression and then World War II. And then in 1960, it just started going up. And it's been going up and up until about 2000. And the 60s, well, we all know about the 60s, and it was a call to love. It was a call to change. It was a call to transformation. And so we start using this idea of commitments as part of that. But there are many, many ways of looking at commitments. And so commitment, you can say, is things like the courage to change, or loyalty. It's loyalty and it's reliability and it's devotedness. And it's also the commitment to keep on going, even when times are boring or challenging or discouraging. If we're committed, we keep on with the action. But that's the thing. That type of commitment is talking about action. And what I'm talking about in commit to transform is I'm talking about our beingness. I'm talking about how we show up, who we are, and committing to changing that. And so that commitment is more like, a butterfly. I wonder, does a caterpillar commit to changing into a butterfly in the metamorphosis process? It changes completely who it is, not what it does. It doesn't just grow wings and things and start flapping around. It completely changes who it is. And so we get to think about it. Are we willing to commit to that kind of change? Are we willing to really change who we are? In some ways, you could say, am I willing to submit to the change? Because I think a caterpillar kind of submits to the process. And so when I was thinking about that, it occurred to me that Islam, the word Islam actually means submission to the will of God. That's what they're talking about. That particular statement doesn't resonate very well with me, because when I hear that, submit to the will of God, I think about submitting to this will of God that's outside of me, and that doesn't quite sit right for me anymore. But what I'm talking about is still that submission, but it's to the will of God that lives inside of me. Not out there, in here. And so ultimately what I'm talking about is I'm talking about submitting to the will, quote unquote, of God, the God that is the truth of me. So I'm talking about submitting to the will of who I am, of me. So this is the last Sunday of March, and it's the last Sunday of Women's History Month. And so I want to give you a picture of somebody I'm going to talk about. Harris, you got me going here? So we got a picture of somebody up on the screen. The picture is of Kali, the Hindu god. And, if you look at that, it's not a very pretty, pleasant picture. This is a picture of a woman with 4 arms with a severed head in one of them, and a sword in another one. And she's wearing a ring of severed heads. It's got a particular name I can't remember right now. But she is a Hindu god. And, when I took world religion in ministerial school, my professor said there were 33 million gods in the Hindu religion. And I don't doubt it. I haven't counted it up. But every time I look into the Hindu religion, I find a whole bunch more. But there are some that are aspects of the divine. Each and every one of them are just aspects of the divine, personified so that we can get a little bit closer to that way of being. And there are 3 major aspects of the divine that are considered to be gods in the Hindu religion. And Kali's one of them. Shiva, her consort, is another one of them. And then Parvati is another one of them. So when you look at the picture of her, she looks fearsome, and she is. And she is the destroyer of all evil. And she is, the head in her hand, it means she takes no prisoners, right? And Reverend Karen, who will be talking to her a little bit in the annual meeting, I think Reverend Karen might call her a badass. And so, that's the truth of Kali. She is fearsome. And so why am I bringing her up? Why am I bringing her to our church? Why not go with this image instead, which is the image of Parvati, and she's a much more nice looking, a personification of the divine. She is nurturing, and she's got a little Ganesh that she's holding up there, her child. And she is known as the mother goddess, and we're very comfortable with that aspect, aren't we? We're very comfortable with the mothering aspect of the divine that takes care of us, that loves us. But no, Harris, I'm going to go back to the Kali picture, because that's what we need right now. We need that aspect of the divine, the Kali that is destructive, in this commitment to transform. Oh. Yes. All right, I'm hearing that we're getting a little bit of buzz online, so I'm going to turn. Hello. There we go. All righty. I forgot I have this under my vest, so I couldn't take it all the way off. So here we are talking about Kali, and she's the destroyer. I think she destroyed my hand mic. But so she is an aspect of the divine that I think we need for transformation. Because the problem with us taking on the commitment to transformation is that we are so often just not willing or able to commit to the change of us as who we are. It scares the bejesus out of us sometimes. And so sometimes what we need to do is we just need to allow this destructive aspect of spirit to come in and take it away. Cut off the head, so to speak, and let it go. We talk about releasing, and that's what I think we need to do. We need to release. So, earlier, Audra talked about transforming her own knowingness, her own being, with the way she shows up with her family. And I've been thinking a lot about my family also. And I've been thinking about it because, well, I'm going to see my brother in another week from now. I'm going on vacation for a week. See the happy smile? And, but Idaho is where my mother lived when she died 2 years ago. And she was 90 years old when she passed away. And I've been thinking about her because we just went back past her anniversary of her death this month. And so I've been thinking a lot about that. And I was thinking back to, how I was with her over all of my life. And what I recognize is I've told this story in some different places, but 20 years ago, I decided to transform my relationship with my mother. I was taking foundations class. I was brand new to this philosophy. And it came up in forgiveness night. What do I need to forgive? What do I need to change? And I decided I would change my relationship with my mother. And that was a big job for me at the time because, before that time, before 20 years ago, I would just say to myself all the time that I had about 45 seconds in the room before my mom annoyed me. And, the problem with that is that the reaction I think that we have with people who annoy us, the normal reaction we have is we're trying to get them to change whatever the annoying habit is that annoys us. Good luck with that. Yeah, I tried that with my mom. That didn't work. And so I was in this process of change and trying to commit to the transformation, but I was trying to commit to the transformation of something outside of me. And all the prayers in the world does not change anybody else, only if they're willing to receive that prayer. And so I worked on this for a while, and then I started allowing Spirit to guide me. And Spirit guided me to forgive. Not forgive my mother, although that was part of it, but ultimately to forgive myself for judging myself in all the different ways that showed up in regards to my mother. Forgive myself for judging myself as stupid, or as being able to be manipulated, or as annoyed. And once I started to work that through, and once I committed to that transformation by, changing, releasing who I had been, everything turned out okay. My mother didn't change, though. She didn't have to. She never had to change. The person in that equation that needed to change was me. And here's the thing about being annoyed with somebody. If you're annoyed with somebody, the only thing that you can do is you can put the shields up. And I can guarantee that anybody I'm annoyed with knows I'm annoyed with them, no matter how high the shields are up, because I disconnect from them. And disconnecting from somebody in that moment means that I've disconnected them from my life. And that is not exactly what I planned to do, but it's what happens. And so that commitment to change, the commitment to transform, is a process that's for me. It's the process that I need to live through. And so what I'm suggesting is that we call on Kali. We call on the energy of Kali to let us go of who we have been, so that we can embrace this new vision of who we are meant to be. And we allow Spirit to guide us to who we are meant to be, because I really don't know. I don't know who I'm supposed to be before I get there. After I get there, I recognize that absolutely this was who I was supposed to be all along. But I won't find my way without Spirit. And so what I'm asking you to do is to think for a moment. What are you committed to changing in your life? What are you committed to thinking of yourself in a new way? So in that way, I'm going to give you an affirmation. It's showing up on your screen. If you go ahead and say it along with me. The universe whispers to me, and I commit to my own transformation. Let's say that again. The universe whispers to me, and I commit to my own transformation. And so, as you go out into your week, just grab onto whatever came up for you. What do you want to commit to transforming? How do you want to change yourself in this coming week? What's the next step that Spirit is calling for you to take? And as always, if you're not quite sure, what I am knowing for you, what I am praying for you, what I am recognizing for you is that that truth will be revealed. Because all we have to do is just let Spirit guide you. Thank you, and namaste. So we have Chris on the keyboard over here, and we're just going to go into a little bit of prayer. We're going to allow that prayer to take us inside and to anchor these ideas, these thoughts in the mind that God is. Knowing absolutely that this life, this power, this presence, that is the divine, is all there is in the universe. It is everything. Everything present, everything not present, everything that's ever been, and everything that ever will be. This life that is God, it is a life that is filled full and overflowing with love, with peace, with joy, for that is all that it is. It's not loving sometimes and judging other times. It is only the love that we feel in our hearts when we connect with this divine. It's always there. And so, as Kelly said, we get to choose love. And I choose love in so many ways for myself and for each one of us today, knowing that it's just a choice of recognizing that that love exists in, as, and through us already, since we are the one life, the one power, the one presence that God is. That's the truth of us. And so it's from that place of knowingness that I speak my word right here, right now. I recognize that God is out there plotting our good. Thank you, Nancy Thompson, for that phrase. God is just plotting our good, and so we get to catch on to that vision by just opening ourselves up to that message that is coming from the divine, through the divine, into our lives, into our knowingness. And I know absolutely that we are blessed by that vision. I know all of the power that God is moving through our lives. There is everything present that needs to have been present in order to have this transformation take place, take effect. I know that the power of Kali is a divine power to just move us forward and allow us to release all that we've ever been in order to embrace that which we have come here to be. And for knowing this truth, I just give thanks. And I release this prayer to the law, knowing that it's already fulfilled in the mind that God is. And I say life and God are good and very good. And together we say, and so it is. Amen and amen. So now is the time for our conscious contribution. And so I know so many of you have already given online or sent in a check already. But for those of you who haven't done that yet, and if you would like to contribute to Ahiah, we have 3 ways of doing that. They're showing on the screen. One is to is to go to ahiah.com/donate. Another is to text to give, and you can just text to 616-229-2225. And last of all, you can always mail us a check. I love seeing those checks come in, and I love getting the little notes that go along with them. And so that way is just to mail it to Ahiah at 150 North El Molino Avenue, Pasadena, California, 91101. However you do that, know that you are blessing Ahiah and you are supporting all of the good that we do, both here on Sunday and throughout the week. And so I'd like to go ahead and take our virtual contributions to our heart and say this blessing along with me. It's showing up on your screen right now. This gift I give is God in action. I send it forth with joy, confidence, and ease. I am blessed by the law of giving and receiving, as I now share my gift with life. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And so it is. Amen and amen. And so now I'd like to go ahead and ask Dylan to come on up. And Gloria, can you?
Must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You've been content to let me shine. You always walk the step behind. I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. Only a face without a name. I never once heard you complain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I'd like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed that I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero, and everything I'd like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. 'Cause you are the wind beneath my wings. 'Cause you are the wind beneath my wings. 'Cause you are the wind beneath my wings.
You guys hear me? There we go. Now I'm on. All right. So, thank you, Dylan. That was great. And thank you, band, too. I just love having our band here. And so, we only have one announcement, which is that we have the annual meeting starting up at 12:15. It's a couple minutes before 12 right now. That will give us enough time to get switched over to Zoom. We are not doing the annual meeting on Facebook or on Instagram. It's only on Zoom. So you can get to our Zoom room if you're not there already. You can get there by going to ahiah.com/virtual and hitting the little Go to Zoom button that you'll find on there. And that'll take you directly in. It'll open up Zoom and take you right on in. And so we're going to be talking about a number of things at our annual meeting. We're going to talk about, we have Lake Payne and Jackie Owens, who are standing for election to the Board of Trustees. So that's first up. We're going to talk about where we've been over the since our last annual meeting back in August, not quite a year. And then we're going to talk about our finances, how we did in 2020. We'll talk about how we're handling what we're doing here. Reverend Mike will be talking about our racial equality initiatives and what we've been doing here at Ahiah for that. And then last of all, we also have a discussion around coming home, how we want to come back to Ahiah, how we want to be in person at Ahiah. And we got some steps. Not going to happen tomorrow, but I want to discuss that with the congregation. Everyone is welcome at the annual meeting. Even if this is your first time here today, you are welcome, welcome, welcome. I would love to see your smiling faces on Zoom. Only the members of Ahiah can vote at the annual meeting. The only vote we're planning to have is for the Board of Trustees. So we're going to go ahead and end this here with our benediction, but I would love for you to join us at the annual meeting in 15 minutes. So if you would go ahead and join me in the benediction and repeat after me or read along with me. It's on your screen right now. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all of my affairs. I accept it. I am it. And I share it. Just the way it appears and just the way it appears not. Thank you, life. Amen and amen. And so I am so glad that you joined us here. I'm so much looking forward to seeing you next week. But even before that, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the annual meeting. Stick around. We're going to be, or go to the Zoom room, I should say. We will be there in 15 minutes. Thank you, and namaste.